half a mile, turn left onto Tramway Road Northeast. Turn left onto Tramway Road Northeast. Continue on Tramway Road Northeast for 1 mile. In a quarter mile, turn right.
Welcome to Sandia. That is only. Yes. Yes. Okay, okay. Thank you.
In 600 feet, turn right.
And just watch the first few steps there. Very small step down.
Your shirt's all messy.
We do have a small sitting area on that bench right there. So it's like it's not being used. So if you want to use it, you want to use it. You can always change the right halfway.
Oh, you got that's like the one you have on the last camera.
40. Yeah, really it's 55. Some 40.
I just have the worst
comfort.
balance.
Yeah, it's
known to mankind. It's better to make it hurt.
All right, well, welcome aboard the Sandia Peak Trail Tram, everybody. My name is Gerald. I'm going to be your operator here today on the way up. I'm mostly here to answer your questions, comments, and concerns. So if anything at all comes up on the way up, please feel more than free to raise your hand or you can just holler at me. I'll do my best to help you out, let you know what's going on, or answer your question. Maybe I'll make something up too. That all being said, it's going to take about 15 minutes to get to the top of the mountain way up there. During that travel time, I am going to be talking a little bit about those things, the surrounding area, the geology information of the mountain, as well as pointing out some landmarks and points of interest from the tram. You guys first time on the tram here?
Yes.
Welcome aboard. You guys make a great day to ride. It's Sunday, which means the restaurant is open, taking the walk-ins till about 7. Any question?
Well, maybe you can get a drink up there.
And we're going to speed up just a little bit as we pass that parking lot threshold just ahead of us there. We'll travel at about 15 miles an hour as we're making our way up. It's about 2.7 miles of travel distance on each side of the cableway, so it's almost 6 miles of continuous loop.
That's a lot of cable.
Yeah, it's a lot of steel. It's almost 90 tons of cable.
So where did that cable come from?
It came from Switzerland. It was manufactured in Switzerland, and then it was shipped over on cargo ships. And then I believe they used trains and freight to get it.
You might want to stand up so you can see it.
Sure, that's right.
How often do they change cable?
It's about every 25 to 30 years. They swap that changes as the cables have gotten better. You know, like the first generation did not last as long as the second, and this set's lasting longer than that second set. So it's about every 25 years. We're coming up on a cable change in about 15 years or so. Not
Might we see any wildlife?
Not today, but you never know. You know, so we have a lot of down here in the foothills. This is our Chihuahuan desert climate. Biggest things we really see down here regularly are coyotes and mule deer. White-tailed deer territory is up higher a little bit, and then as well as the black bears.
Yeah, pick some ducks.
Oh yeah, but the top of it is awesome.
So basically, how they get the equipment up here to sell this.
Well, here comes our first support tower on this tramway. We just have 2 support towers. They're both within the first half of the uphill trip. We will swing and sway just a little bit as we're going over these towers. It's a little bit like being on a Ferris wheel, but a much more mild sensation. You guys are welcome to hold on, or you can throw your hands up and say "we." And it's
So when I showed you the picture, you didn't realize this, did you? Hey, it's
Well, we're sort of boxed into this canyon after we passed over that first tower. There's lots of big balanced boulders around that you might notice. So that one straight out the northwest windows, we call that Cannon Rock. Sort of looks like a big old cannon getting ready to fire off towards the cliffs. And that's about 2 times the size of this cabin that you guys are inside of.
Oh yeah, that's a good ride.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, it's probably at least
a couple football fields.
Yeah, probably 2, 3. I'm trying to think of our, because we have a 500-foot radius for like paragliders, that sort of thing. You know, and I had a guy buzzing me the other day, and I was like, too close. And he was about that far. It's probably about, yeah.
We had a guy run a red light right next to us, almost hit a car.
On tramway?
No, right out on the highway. So what's the towers over there that I see?
So that's a great question. That's all the telecommunications for Albuquerque surrounding area. They call that the Steel Forest. It's just about 4 acres up there that the National Forest is allocated to like, you know, FCC. That's why it's not, you know, controlled by FCC, but they lease out those tower plots. But some of those repeaters go all the way to Texas and Colorado because it's the highest commercial point, in this area.
If you drive up to the peak from behind, you can go.
Yeah.
There's like a gift shop or something.
Yeah, they recently closed the gift shop up there, but they're trying to.
So much for that.
Next few years, they're probably gonna, you know, they're selling the building, so probably get another restaurant or something.
Oh, that away.
And today is the clearest day we've had in about 2 weeks up here. We've had that California, Oregon wildfire smoke in our air, sort of messing us up. But if you guys look way out there, there's some stuff you can see you can't normally see. That knob-shaped hill straight to the northwest. It's at about 3 o'clock if we were at the center of that imaginary clock. That's Gabazon Peak, or Gabazon Butte. And that's a volcanic neck or volcanic plug, just like Devil's Tower up in Wyoming. It's just about a quarter the size of Devil's Tower. And that's about 47 miles away. On the north of that white patch of dirt, the base of the next mountain range over, that's called White Mesa. That's a gypsum quarry at the base of the Jemez Mountains. The Jemez Mountains are really unique. They contain the 2nd largest supervolcano in the U.S. It's sort of like Mexico's version of Yellowstone.
Isn't the volcano active or something?
Yeah, the Valles Caldera is active. It's not going to have another super eruption, probably, is what, you know, all the hoopla is, but there's going to be another ring fracture, small eruption in the next 40, 50,000 years. This is our second kiss. They'll be whizzing right by. We're probably a little more empty than them, so they might be a little more jealous.
Oh yeah, they look like that.
attached to them on the same center haul rope and counter haul rope. So as they slow down for that tower, we're going to slow down with them over this big canyon here.
What are the red things?
Oh, that's great. So those are slack carriers, is what they're called. And they sort of sit on top of the two outside ropes, which are called the track ropes. And they hold up the center haul rope so the catenary doesn't get too big. There's 17 of them on each side of the cable wing. And so just as we're traveling, they catch the slack and hold up the center wire.
So you stand up there, that's where we're going?
Okay, how far down is it right here?
That's a great question. It's actually the highest point. So while we're slowed down, it's about 968 feet to the canyon floor. You can almost squeeze the Eiffel Tower or the Empire State Building right underneath the tram right there.
Oh, wow.
I assume when the wing hits, it really gets gushy.
Yeah, it can blow you around a little bit, yeah. But it's not as much as you maybe think it'd be. But we get to about 10 degrees swing with an empty cabin.
I remember there being a lot more deciduous trees, but now it's just like a...
Yeah, it's sort of filled in.
With the conifers.
Yeah. But you can tell which one you know because there's so much greener, especially this year.
I don't really think the trees is changing that much in here, right?
I know, but we've been watching these ones die up here too. It's a bummer, but we think it's a water cutoff thing, like a rock fall happened. Sometimes we had one of our guys was hiking up there.
I don't think it's cut off. That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. It's probably, it's probably about 75, 80 degrees up there right now. I didn't check it when I was up there last.
That might still give me reaction when I'm
In this section we're going over now, this is home to the only year-round running source of water on the entire western side of this mountain, here in Echo Canyon. It's a little creek that goes through that really dense forest right below us. Some of those big spruce trees are about 120 feet tall down there. Because of that water source on these oak brush covered hillsides here is where we see the most wildlife from the tram. Past few weeks we've had bear sightings, that sort of thing. Mule deer, white-tailed deer sightings from the tram, which is always a good time.
Granted, there's a lot of trees.
Yeah. The two I've seen have come like in and they're like in the forest. One was on a rock fall.
I feel like it. Oh, yeah.
This canyon is accessible from the Sims Park area out in the foothills. Some really nice trails that go through here and some interesting human history throughout the canyon. You follow your canyon up and out to the ridge line with your eyes. The highest visible point is actually a man-made structure and an interesting piece of history up there. It's a very, very peak up there. It's just a little limestone hut. It's about the size of a two-car garage with a little square window just inside of it. That's called the Kiwanis Cabin. And that was built back in the 30s by the Civilian Conservation Corps under the FDR administration. It's about 1.5 miles away from our upper station and 1.5 miles back to the upper station. It takes most people like 2 hours to hike out there, depending on how long you hang out at that little cabin.
Do they like rock climbers?
Yeah, so it's all national forest, so you can do whatever you want out here as long as you're following the national forest rules. And free climbing and trad climbing is all allowed, except for restricted areas, which are very few of them. Yeah, we do sometimes. It happens like maybe 2 or 3 times in the summer. I'm like some lucky rides, but the most popular routes are all sort of on the other side of these cliffs over here. They're all these trailheads. Like nice edge of the shield is the most popular.
Looks like a little trail over here. Like something.
Oh, and there's a nice bird. That might be a golden eagle flying right in front of them. No, that's a vulture. But still exciting. Look at that. We've got over 200 species of birds here in the Sandias. He's like right out the side right here.
Oh, there he is. There he goes. Oh, he might be the other way.
And he's gonna be out that side.
You see any other wildlife out there?
I've seen 2 bears since I've worked here. I grew up in Sandia Park, and growing up out there, we see a lot. We had to keep our trash in the garage just because of the bears, that sort of thing. One mountain lion my whole life, He was a young one, he was a little guy.
Okay, so we saw a bird.
Well, that big modern building just north of our station and north of that big red deck up there, that's 10-3. That's the restaurant up here. Like I said, they should be accepting walk-in guests till about 7 p.m. tonight, unless you have a reservation for later. If you're not going to eat up here, hope you enjoy the view. There's lots of spotting scopes on that red observation deck right there that you can look out that point at different landmarks all across the city, the surrounding area. The last tram car heading downhill tonight is going to be between 9:15 and 9:30. You guys are welcome to stay up here as long as you want tonight, as long as we get you down in time, or you're cool with walking. That's just a joke. We'll get you down, but don't be late between 9:15 and 9:30. Those cabins leave every 15 to 30 minutes pretty regularly. We'll be making a lot of announcements all day about those trams, so just have your ears open for those. Most of our trails start out from different areas of the red deck. If you follow the red deck anywhere, it's going to lead you somewhere. We have trail maps and information inside that upper station, as well as bathrooms, facilities, water fountains, and vending. He's pulling us in. Once he gets us all the way in, we're going to have a little bit bigger of a bump with those rubber bumpers up
Oh, I
there.
see.
Like he's pulling.
No, he's not pretending.
He's clearly amused by us.
And here comes that last little bump in about 3, 2. And she knows we're here, don't worry. Yeah, she's just waiting for that. That's
Welcome to the top, folks. Please watch your step. Stay hydrated out there. It helps with the altitude. Watch for sunburn. Satellite down, 9:15 to 9:30.
10:15 to 9:30.
Watch your step and take your time.
Yeah.
Am I blocking the sun or am I keeping you from
They
giving
coming up.
the cell phone?
I'm here, guys.
I did her sister the other day when she's in Sunday. Dentist appointment, my sister has a doctor's appointment.
Sandia.